Blockchain Education Network started about 6 years ago from the need of university students around the world really wanted to learn about, at that time, it was cryptocurrencies. They really wanted to learn about cryptocurrencies, and there really wasn't there weren't any opportunities or resources or support for that. So originally it started with University of Berkeley, MIT, Stanford, and Michigan. And so there were clubs that were created to be able to learn on campus about cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Now, from that, lots and lots of other universities had an interest. For example, Wellesley College in Boston had an interest of creating a club, and we actually supported and helped create the first blockchain club in Wellesley College. And the university closed it down because of the fear of cryptocurrencies in the space. And not in the space, but most of all in the college. And they, improper Wellesley girls aren't allowed to learn about these things. Now, 6 years later, they're interested and they want to be able to give these students the opportunity to learn about blockchain and cryptocurrency. So what we've learned in the past 6 years has been that one, the education is a great way to lead adoption, and it starts with professors and students in universities. 6 years later, we have over 8 national offices, teams, including Colombia, Canada, US, Italy, India, Dubai, Vietnam, and Australia. And what we're seeing is that in a lot of these countries, education looks very differently. For example, in Vietnam and Colombia, university clubs aren't a thing. And so what we've done is we've adjusted. We created the first blockchain class in the National University of Colombia. And we're really seeing a large need and interest in Latin America, especially for education, because the crypto and blockchain space, as we all know, in the beginning had such a skepticism around it. And in Latin America, though there's a huge need, there is still a lot of education and knowledge that needs to be spread so that people are less afraid and are able to take advantage of it. And so that's what we've been working on over the past 6 years all around through the world. And so now we have over 80 blockchain clubs. Erik has recently done a really great job with Turkey, and in Turkey we're seeing a large interest as well. And so from these past 6 years, what we've done is we worked with the club leaders to really create resources so that they can go to their club meetings and present right away and not have to worry about creating the content to teach their students. And originally we were adding it all into a large Google Drive where people could go and share all around, right? And give credit to the authors. But that 6 years after, when we had hundreds of lessons in the drive. And so now what we've done is we've created the playbook. The Bend playbook. The idea with the Bend playbook was to be able to, from the past 6 years, what we've learned of, how to empower students with internships and job opportunities that we've been able to provide for students in this space, how the conference and hackathon tickets that we've provided, as well as Airbnb and flight sponsorship. For example, in India, we were actually able to, 2 years ago, work with the government in India to provide visas for our students in India to come down to the MIT Bitcoin conference. So, what this playbook, the idea is kind of the roadmap as to success in blockchain for a student, for anyone, to add the lessons that we've created over the past 6 years, and to be able to create activities and more opportunities for the community on that end. This is something that Erik and the whole community has worked really hard. And what we've seen is that over the past 6 years, as we've seen, crypto has gone up, crypto has gone down. There's been a lot of different movements in the space. But as a nonprofit, the reason why we've been able to survive and keep going as the largest and longest running network in the space of students is because of the trust in the community that we've built. You know, we started as a need for students. We started as support, and we started as a movement of students, right? We always say we're hashtag generation blockchain, and that's really what one of the reasons why we've been able to continue strong. And Erik can talk some more about this as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great. Hopefully there's not too much of a lag on my voice, but building off of what Mel had said, we've been around for 6 years that we've been working with these different blockchain clubs across universities. Up to this point, we have about 80 different university blockchain clubs spread out across the world, with obviously high concentrations in the US and Canada, in Latin America, and now most recently of all places, Turkey. We just had 5 blockchain clubs onboarded from Turkey to kind of form the initial Ben Turkey community. So they're really excited about blockchain over there. But we've also grown past clubs in the sense that now we see this trend of professors and faculty and school universities now want to get blockchain, and they want to put blockchain into their schools, which is something that we hadn't seen before, and previously schools have been very antagonistic. So yeah, we're working with professors, we're working with faculty, all the content, all the curriculum. We're also focusing a lot on online events, which we've kind of always had to do, because since we're global, we always try to, what are the things that we can do as Ben that are the most inclusive and are the most far-reaching? And so that's why we've always kind of steered away from conferences or from meetups. We've done intercollegiate meetups. We've done meetups in cities where there's a high number of Ben clubs, like in Philly or in Boston or New York. But for the most part, we've stuck to our online workshops, our online meetups, our online discussion calls. We just started doing meetups in VR, and we started doing different tracks, different sections for different groups of audiences, like professors, for professor calls for professors. We've done women chats, women calls for the women of Ben, just like bringing them in from all over the world. So now we're seeing, right, everyone else, with everyone else's unfortunate, all our offline events are mainly handled through our partners, and we're seeing like all of these events being canceled. So our partners, Bitcoin 2020, had to cancel their event. Our other partners, Blockchain Summit LATAM, well, they didn't cancel it, they postponed it. Blockchain Summit LATAM also postponed it. Right, Consensus just announced earlier today that they're going virtual with their Consensus event. So New York Boston Blockchain Week New York Blockchain Week is postponed. Boston Blockchain Week was postponed. So everyone's kind of going online right now, and it should be interesting to see, because in some ways it's unfortunate. In other ways, it's also going to be a lot more inclusive, because we have the opportunity now to get people that wouldn't have normally been able to fly out to our conferences or to all of these conferences to now join because it's online, and we'll be forced to figure them out. We'll be forced to figure out the good tools to use. We'll be forced to experiment with the right speaker format and the right way to do these things, so that they're actually entertaining and so that they're actually useful, because the alternative is just not do any conferences at all. And I don't believe that's a viable solution. I think there's a real need and a real need for a community to tune in and to be able to participate. And that's what we've seen with our students. Like the students from all over the world, they join the Slack channel, and they post in the Slack channel, and they tune in to our online events. And we try our hardest to fly them to our partner conferences. We get their Airbnbs, we get their flights, but at the end of the day, like, there's only so much you could do to get someone to actually fly out. Sometimes it's a visa thing that stops them from being able to come. And we've paid for students' visas before. We've paid for visas for students from Ben, India, to fly to the MIT Bitcoin Expo 2 years ago. So, yeah, so we do what we can to enable travel, but I'm actually excited to see the proliferation of these virtual conferences, and I hope that they'll still have a place once everything blows over and people start meeting up offline again. So I'm excited to see over the next few months. We have these meetups. Members of Ben are welcome to join these meetups. You're welcome to become a member of Ben. You don't have to be a student to become a member of Ben. you can just go to blockchainedu.org and see all the details there. And we have a variety of stuff. So we're going to be doing like speaker series, more hangout sessions in VR, just people coming in and meeting each other all over the world.
Great. Could you say the address again? Was it blockchain edu, please?
Yes, it is blockchainedu.org.
Great. Yeah, thanks. That was really great talk. So you guys are based out of MIT, is that correct?
So I went to MIT. I'm based out of New York. Mel right now is in Colombia, where she's been back and forth between Los Angeles and Colombia, like a true crypto nomad. I'm over here.
Yeah. We're pretty decentralized, and we have a team all over the world. We have, as I said, 8 national teams. Our head of Italy, Emiliano, actually does his fair job at being decentralized as well between Panama and the States. He works really hard as well, and really want to kind of send all the best energies to Italy right now with everything that they're going through. But
speaking of which,
the community stays strong, and actually, Emiliano has launched a program to campaign to be able to support the community in Italy by getting more research and more resources to those who are in need in Italy. I'm pulling up the information right now to share it with you guys. Sorry, Eric, go ahead. What did you want to say?
I was going to say to go to the Ben Twitter to look at it, but it's also a really good idea to post that information right now. They're essentially doing a Bitcoin fundraiser for hospitals and just to support.
Yep. I'm taking a look at it here, and I will share it in the group as soon as I'm able to find it. If you find it before I do, Eric, feel free to post it. But in addition, we really want to open up the space for any questions or any comments you guys have. And in the meantime, we'll be posting the information from Italy as well. And in a little bit, I can also share my screen and walk you guys through the website and our playbook, so you'll be able to see a little more of what that looks like.
Sure. So quick questions. How much do these courses cost for someone?
So for a student and a professor, they're free, and actually you can go online and you can take a look at some of the lessons that we have there available to the community for free. In addition, to join the community and become a professional member, it is $10 a month, and so that really provides the ability to sustain the community. Continue supporting students, continue hosting online workshops, continue growing, and providing the support that we've been doing over the past 6 years. For those $10, on top of that, as we said, we often partner with events, and we often have, if it's not free tickets, it's discounted tickets, so be available to take advantage of that and be a part of have the support from the community through our Slack channel, be able to join the speaker workshops and series where you'll be able to ask questions and interact further with our partners. And in addition, really, as I said, over the past 6 years, we've been able to support and see our students grow to really high positions in the blockchain space, which we love, and we're so proud of all of our alumni. So in addition, have access to those resources to do the same.
Great, thank you so much.
For sure.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, then yeah, I will reach out to you and get a Slack uh, group from you, and post that in the YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.